la fibre. Je vais maintenant me faire le plaisir d'inviter sur scène Jean Ferré, qui va venir nous parler de la petite surprise.
Merci David. Bonjour. Merci bien. Vous avez vu des belles démos? Cool. Ok, je vais pas Ok. Donc je voulais juste vous dire, il y a une surprise pour vous bientôt, que vos apps sont vraiment formidables. Donc merci beaucoup pour toutes ces apps. Les développeurs français ont fait un travail exceptionnel. Il y a déjà plusieurs centaines d'apps dans le store français. Il y a toutes les types d'apps, hein. Il y a les grandes chaînes de télé qui sont là, France Télévisions, TF1, Audiovisuel Extérieur, Canal+, il y a les grands médias, la presse, le Figaro, les Échos, Le Monde, il y a le e-commerce, Carrefour, etc., Darty, La Redoute, les banques, les jeux, enfin, c'est vraiment très complet, il y a de tout. Il y a aussi beaucoup d'apps qui sont faites par les développeurs et qui sont des apps qui n'existent pas sur les autres plateformes, et ça c'est vraiment merveilleux.
Dont Leader Software.
Une tout à l'heure. Et en plus, ces apps... Ces apps, elles sont belles. Et voilà, je voulais vous parler en fait du design, et j'ai pris l'exemple de Cookbook. C'est une application qui a déjà plusieurs centaines de milliers de downloads sur le store, sur le Windows Store. Et quand j'ai montré en fait, quand je suis rentré de Bulle, en fait, je me suis acheté une Surface. Et ma fille, en fait, l'a vu et m'a dit « Papa, c'est un iPad ou un PC ?» Et je lui ai dit « En fait, c'est les deux. » Et après, donc, je l'ai ouvert et j'ai commencé à regarder ça. Et il y avait quelqu'un de la famille qui était là et qui m'a dit « Mais c'est incroyable, c'est beau, c'est beau comme, c'est beaucoup plus beau que sur les autres devices. » Et c'est vrai. Et voilà, j'ai voulu prendre l'exemple de cette application qui a été faite par une petite équipe de Toulouse. Il y en a beaucoup d'autres. Mais c'est vrai que sur Windows, vous avez la possibilité aujourd'hui de faire des apps qui sont belles comme jamais, plus belles que sur les autres plateformes, et ça aussi c'est important. Et je vais passer au slide d'après. Voilà, je voulais juste vous dire ça parce que c'est très important. Et c'est vous, alors tous ceux qui ont fait des apps ici, je les en remercie et je les félicite. Et tous ceux qui l'ont pas encore fait, je vous rappelle, hein, c'est dans quelques mois des centaines de millions de PC et de tablettes qui seront équipés avec Windows 8. Et donc la possibilité tout de suite d'y accéder à toutes ces audiences simplement en mettant votre application sur le Windows Store. Et pour l'instant, les applications françaises, vous savez, les gens peuvent voter, hein, ils mettent des étoiles. Et bien en moyenne, la note moyenne des applications françaises, c'est la meilleure note comparée à tous les autres pays. Voilà, donc les développeurs français, bravo à vous. Formidable. Tout à l'heure, je vous dirai, j'aurai une petite surprise pour vous pour aller sur le Windows Store. Mais là maintenant, en fait, j'aimerais vous parler. Il y a quelqu'un, en fait, donc c'est ça la vraie surprise, qui va vous parler de son téléphone.
There's a lot of people in my life. Heck, there's a lot of people in the world. And they all have something to say. Many have some sort of advice. So much advice. Some of that advice is really useful. Some of the advice, I actually want to get face to face. Some of the advice I sorely need. And some of the advice, I always follow. I often get asked for advice, but not all the time. But there's one piece of advice I give to everyone. That's me, and this is my Windows Phone.
Voilà, mesdames et messieurs, Steve Ballmer, le CEO du Conférence.
Well, thanks for that greeting. I am excited to be here. This is an end of what I would call one of probably the two most exciting weeks in my life when I wasn't having a child born. We gave birth to Windows 8, to Surface, to Windows Phone 8, and then I had the pleasure and privilege of flying around the world, talking to customers, seeing developers about the work. And of course, my last session, the most exciting thing I get to do is to wrap up by talking to French developers, my favorite city. Because you're developers, I have to explain that isn't BS. I really do love Paris. I lived here with my family for 3 months when my child was young. It's my favorite place in the world to run. I'm sort of glad our office is here in Issy-les-Moulineaux. I like staying a little closer to the center of Paris than going out to Les Ulis, even though that's also a wonderful town. So it is just great to have a chance to share with you some of the enthusiasm and some of the early results and some of the opportunities that we see for all of you as developers with these new products. Because I think it's absolutely a phenomenal time. In a sense, what we say about Windows 8 is true about Microsoft. We are reimagining Windows. We've reimagined how it works with hardware, ARM processors and Atom in addition to Core. We've re-architected or reimagined the kinds of devices you can build, not only notebooks and laptops, but now tablets and these kind of hybrid tablet-laptop devices, which are pretty interesting and exciting. We've reimagined the user interface, which many people love, and the rest of people are soon to love, I would say. And we've reimagined this whole notion of services as an integrated part of the Windows experience. We're also reimagining Microsoft around the notion that says, while our core skill is software development, what we really are taking to market are devices and services that come from the internet cloud. The basic nature of the way we add value, all of us, with our software development skills continues to change and move forward. And with Windows 8, we're kind of reimagining Microsoft. And that's why you see us do our first Windows device in the Surface. How are we doing so far? I would say we're off to really quite a spectacular start. In the first 3 days after we announced Windows 8, we sold about 4 million Windows 8 upgrades. 4 million. Depending on how you think, that's either a really big number or it's not that big compared to the 1.2 billion PCs on the planet, but it gives us a lot of upside, if you will. If you take a look at kind of what the reviews and the reactions have been on Windows Phone 8, phenomenal. On Windows, incredible. On Surface, you know, just really special. I have a few quotes here. From CNET, Microsoft Surface is hot. I like that one. Of course, it runs very cool, nice to the touch. I don't want to get confused. From the Associated Press, they really get it. Windows 8 bridges the gap between PC and mobile devices. And one of my favorites comes from the blog The Verge, a guy named Josh Topolsky, who's quite well renowned, at least in the United States, for his reviews of various gadgets and etc. over the years. Who would have thought that in 2012, Microsoft would be the company with the boldest phone in software design? Which I think all testaments to the good work that's involved in these products. I will say that we still have a lot of work to do in a sense in the launching. We've launched Windows 8, you see new Windows 8 devices, and yet really getting them all the way out. The new devices with the new screens that are thinner and lighter and faster to boot. We have a lot of work still. There's still, if you go into your favorite Fnac store or in the US Best Buy store, or I was shopping. There's 6 bottles of water here. I don't think I'm going to drink all of them during the course of this speech, but it's very kind. I went shopping last night at MediaMarkt in Germany, an electronics store, and there were still Windows 7 machines, not all the machines, had moved to touch yet. But when you see a new machine, a machine that really has been designed with Windows 8 in mind, I think about the Aspire S7. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous machine. You take a look at some of the new designs. This is a Lenovo up here. And, it bends all the way back. It bends all the way forward. It's a full laptop. It's this kind of machine. Of course, it's touch. It's the kind of machine. Let's touch something that's probably fine. It's the kind of machine that starts to show off why you would really love Windows 8 or this Sony device. Well, it's an unusual design, but it folds down, it folds up, it's got a built-in pen, or you look at a Surface, or you look at the new machines. We have a lot of work to do still to get those in full fruition out in the marketplace and really let this product, I forgot this someplace, come alive. So a spectacular start, a lot of work to do, and you'll continue to see new and interesting and cool Windows machines very much coming to market. The way we think about the benefits of having reimagined Windows is really in these 4 buckets. First of all, these are simply the best PCs ever. 400 million people a year buy PCs, and they buy PCs because they want what a PC has been. These boot faster, they come out of hibernate quicker, they use less battery, they are better PCs than ever before. And yet at the same time, these run on new processor architectures, they support touch and stylus in addition to the keyboard. They're the best PCs ever made. We bring together the best of worlds. Not only keyboard and touch, but work and play. You buy a Windows 8 device, it runs the tools you need at work and at home. You want to run Visual Studio and use new modern applications? We've got a machine for that. You want to run Microsoft Office and new modern applications? There's a machine for that. Work and play. PC and tablet. And I think that's an important evolution. You go away for the day, do you take your tablet or do you take your PC? Answer, you should take both. And it shouldn't be 2 devices that you carry around that are heavy, and we're reimagining around that. The Windows devices, both phones and Windows PCs, are alive with the activity, with the people, with the information that's most important to you. That's fundamental in the redesign that we did, and it's fundamental in the opportunity that I think is available to all of you as developers. It's one thing to build an app, it's another thing to build a really good app. Not just a touch app, but an app where you really think about searching and sharing, and you think about pinning and live activity, where you really think about integration with the Microsoft account and SkyDrive. There's a bunch of systems infrastructure there that not only allows you to make your app better, but it will allow consumers to discover, to return, to revisit, to be more active with your application than having it sit there as a dumb icon someplace in the system, or having people have to come back every time to the store and think about you afresh. And our phones are building on that theme. I would say they're the most personal smartphones ever. When you take a look, like we did in the video, at the personalization I've done on my phone, and you'll hear from, we have some ads that are running or will be running here in France with a famous chef and a famous Olympic swimmer talking about how they personalize their own phones. You realize that what people want when you pull your phone out is you want your stuff, and you want it very, very much right there at a glance. And our phones do that. Our phones are the best phones if you own a Windows device. Sure, you don't have to own a Windows device to buy our phones, and there will certainly be people who own Windows devices who own the other guy's phones. They're just the best complement. And we're past the time when I would say competition had the best hardware. Between the work that HTC has done and Samsung has done and Nokia has done, it is really phenomenal. The screen resolutions, the camera quality, the audio quality that are available in the Windows Phone ecosystem. So this is kind of, if you will, the benefits of all of that work we did in reimagination. We then said, okay, that's great, but we've got to show the way. We've got to go all in as a company with our own applications. We haven't moved Office completely to the modern user interface. No, we haven't. But we've really done a lot of work on the design to make it more touchable and to look like it was designed from the same style guidelines as anything else in Windows 8. We built it to use the Microsoft account and SkyDrive, the things that we're telling you to do. Same thing with Skype, which has moved to the modern user interface. With Bing, we've built a whole new generation of what we call Bing apps, Bing News, Bing Sports, Bing Weather, Bing Finance. And if you take a look at those, they show off the characteristics of being first-class Windows 8 applications and add value to every Windows system. We've improved the browser, and we've taken our premier web properties, Outlook.com and MSN, and we've redesigned them to work great with the fast, fluid, touchable browser in Windows 8, and to share the same design style and guide as the rest of Windows 8 applications. Xbox Video, Xbox Games. The Windows 8 user gets access to 30 million songs for free in a streaming catalog on all Windows 8 systems, and will continue down this path. So we've bet all in. We've tried to show all the developers now coming to the platform how it might be used by using it on our own first-party content. You're not alone out there. We're all in. We'll make the investments, whether it's technology, whether it's our own applications, whether it's sales, marketing, and support. We're all in to really build this. At the same time, behind the scenes, you've seen what we've done with Azure Mobile Services to make it easy to build Windows 8 apps. We have new tools in System Center for corporations to manage applications of their own in Windows 8 systems. Of course, Windows Server 2012 is built on the Windows 8 code base. So just a whole lot of work. I think all of this creates a great opportunity for all of you as developers. I'm going to talk about what I think the economic opportunity is, the size of the market here in a minute. But I think for developers, it's often better to focus in on this notion of writing different kinds of apps. You write an app for our platform, you can do things you can't do on your iOS or Android app, and you should do them. You will make your app more valuable to your users. You will make your app more valuable to yourself. I've relisted some of those things on the screen today. But rather than just sit here and talk about the apps, we thought we would demonstrate some of the applications that people have already built here in France. And so I'd like to invite David Catou from our... sorry. I had to stop and think, actually, whether there was an accent on the last E or not, so I had to stop again. Sorry about that, David. But David's going to show you some of the applications that developers have already built here in France. Please welcome back, David.
Bonjour. Bon, c'est déjà plus difficile de passer à Ballmer. Steve. Donc, j'ai failli passer à l'anglais là. Donc, l'idée pour moi, en fait, ça a été compliqué. Il faut choisir des apps. Voilà. Il faut en montrer quelques-unes. Vous avez fait des centaines et des centaines d'applications. On en aime énormément là-dedans et il faut en choisir 3, 4, 5. Donc, je présente d'ores et déjà mes excuses auprès de tous ceux à qui on n'a pas montré la démonstration. On vous aime quand même, mais il a bien fallu choisir. Et puis il y en a qui ont mieux payé que d'autres, du coup, forcément. Alors, la première d'entre elles que je voulais vous montrer, c'est vraiment une application qui m'a beaucoup plu et que j'utilise tous les jours, du coup, c'est pour ça qu'elle est là. Ça s'appelle les animés radio. Donc, il y a à peu près 120 radios indépendantes qui sont scannées par cette application. Et elle va me donner en temps réel les musiques qui sont en train de passer actuellement là maintenant, sur ces radios-là. Alors, je vais par exemple prendre ici celle-ci, voilà, Will I Am, et elle va se connecter sur Montagne FM, la bien connue, et va récupérer le flux, et nous avons la musique en temps réel. Donc ça, quand je suis en train de travailler ou en train de regarder, de lire un livre, c'est super sympa, vous pouvez écouter tous vos artistes finalement, à partir du moment où ils sont en train de passer maintenant à la radio. Alors, là où c'est carrément délire, c'est qu'on a la même sur le téléphone. Ce que j'aime beaucoup en fait, c'est qu'une fois que j'ai commencé à goûter des radios et que je dois partir quelque part, mais j'ai bien envie de continuer, mais ça tombe bien. La voilà, sur le phone, disponible également et avec exactement les mêmes fonctionnalités. Quand Steve dit justement qu'on est capable de partager finalement le code entre les différents environnements, à la vue près, c'est quelque chose qui est tout à fait réaliste. Ici, j'ai également mon mur du son, je vais pouvoir choisir une... alors je ne sais plus si je vais pouvoir... Voilà, il est là-bas en haut, la même, tant qu'on est. Et là, vous n'allez pas l'entendre, mais faites-moi confiance, c'est en train de se télécharger, et je vais avoir la même fonctionnalité avec mon casque et écouter ça sur la route par exemple. Alors, tant qu'on est sur le téléphone, moi, il y a quelque chose qui me plaît beaucoup. Tout à l'heure, on a vu d'ailleurs la démonstration avec Julien, qui est le coup du NFC. Je trouve que c'est vraiment une fonctionnalité super sympa des Windows Phone 8. Et il se trouve que moi, j'aime bien manger. Alors, vous allez dire, non, ça se voit pas, tout ça, tout ça. Et en fait, quand je vais dans un restaurant, j'ai en plus des goûts de luxe. Donc j'aime bien suivre le guide Michelin, par exemple, qui me dit où aller. Et là où c'est génial, c'est qu'en intégrant un tag NFC dans ces petits macarons que l'on trouve devant les restaurants, je vais pouvoir, avec mon Windows Phone 8, arriver devant directement, faire en fait juste ceci, un tap and touch, avoir ici, vous voyez, une information qui me dit est-ce que tu veux recevoir le contenu? Oui, c'est parti. Il va me lancer le guide Michelin et nous allons nous retrouver avec le célébrissime restaurant, je ne peux pas dire autrement, qui bien évidemment est au Danemark. Eh bien, il est donc évident que c'est un super restaurant parce qu'il est vraiment en avance de ça avec son tag NFC. Donc l'expérience, je passe, je tag, j'ai mon information et vous avez vu, j'étais même pas lancé au niveau de l'application. Alors, on parle de manger, donc du coup, ben, ça me fait penser à autre chose. Oh, la transition de fou. Il faut faire ses courses. Alors moi, j'ai une femme adorable qui fait les courses pour moi, mais maintenant que j'ai ça sur ma tablette, c'est vrai que des fois je me prends à faire les courses. Carrefour Drive, c'est une application qui me plaît pour deux aspects. D'abord, ils ont bien su intégrer le design métro. Ils ont vraiment pris le concept métro dans le sens, alors moderne nuit, sorry. Le nouveau design.
Ça la fout mal là.
Je dirais, ça s'est fait. On fait ça, j'ai acheté du fromage. Du beurre, c'est peut-être même plus de conséquences. Et là, en me connectant directement, j'achète directement sur ma tablette, donc avec vraiment un environnement qui est fait pour ça. Je peux avoir le détail des produits, un bon vieux beurre moulé de Micelle. L'expérience ici me crée un panier. Je vais donc pouvoir après revenir sur mon interface, toujours au touch, toujours dans mon canapé, voir mon panier et avoir une expérience d'achat complète et intégrée. Vous voyez que j'ai fait des tests, j'ai acheté des cookies aussi. Vous noterez. Et là, transition encore plus de fou, j'ai acheté des cookies. Du coup, je voudrais vous parler d'une autre application. Alors, les développeurs sont dans la salle. Bougez la main, je sais pas où vous êtes. Bravo les gars. Une équipe de 3 personnes. Un jour s'est dit, nous on va faire un super jeu parce qu'il y a quelque chose qu'il faut régler en ce bas monde. À mort les légumes. Les légumes, c'est la déco au restaurant. Du coup, ils ont créé un jeu partant du concept d'Angry Bird. Finalement, Angry Bird, c'est un concept relativement simple. On jette des oiseaux sur les cochons, je vous rappelle. Et ils se sont dit, pourquoi pas prendre ce concept addictif et en faire un jeu avec un vrai univers. Et c'est le cas vraiment ici de Brutal Donut. Alors, le principe est simple, vous êtes un donut, le rêve, et vous allez shooter des carottes. Donc l'idée ici, c'est qu'on va pouvoir avoir des niveaux, et après on part sur les mêmes principes en fait, à savoir, il va falloir que je passe les niveaux de mieux en mieux, avec de moins en moins de coups possibles. Avant de venir ici sur le Windows 8, laissez-moi juste vous montrer que non seulement l'expérience de jeu existe sur Windows 8, mais là où c'est génial, c'est qu'elle existe aussi sur phone, strictement la même. Ils ont porté leur code, ici du XNA, vers le Windows 8 avec donc du DirectX, du C#, et on se retrouve avec la même expérience. Je suis en touch, hop, je shoot ma carotte. J'ai toujours pareil mon expérience ici avec mes différents niveaux, et je peux faire donc, ce que je veux. Alors, là du coup, challenge personnel. Ok, donc, Steve, if you wish.
I'm good with donuts.
Yeah.
Did everybody understand exactly how you get shown on stage? Food.
Yeah.
Food seems to work well with David. Oh, well, it's kind of fun to take a look at some of the new applications, and the number of apps in the store out of the gate was as good, or actually better than anybody else's opened, kind of on launch. And yet the speed and rate which people are developing new applications is really quite amazing. I was in Israel on Monday. There were 70 applications in Hebrew in the Windows Store. They thought there would be over 700 by January. Just to give you a sense of perspective. I don't think it's going to be lonely, and certainly I think there'll be great opportunities for people who move early. We're just post the grand opening. We have people like BBC, Financial Times, eBay. We have some of the games people kind of talk about. Temple Run, Where's My Water, travel applications from leading travel companies. You saw the application from Carrefour in the store, British Airways, World Press. Probably three that are most worth talking about. SAP has talked about and is driving forward on their app. Dropbox has announced that they're making their applications available, and Twitter has announced that it's doing an application for Windows 8. So the momentum on the PC form factor, the tablet form factor is there. In the phone environment, we actually have 120,000 apps in the store today. Still modest compared to some of the competitors, and yet I think just a huge progress compared to where we are market share-wise, and we're driving very hard. The opportunity, I think, for all of you as developers is really unprecedented. The world today has an installed base of Windows 7 of about 670 million computers. Every one of them has enough hardware capability to run Windows 8. Every one of them. Every one of them can upgrade. They won't all upgrade, but every one of them can upgrade, because we made the product smaller, faster, better, etc. They don't all have touch, but we built the system in such a way that you can use applications with touch or with keyboard and mouse. In the next 12 months, something like 400 million new Windows devices will ship. About 250 million of those will go to the consumer market, and they are certain to be primarily Windows 8 systems. Windows Phone, I think we're off to a very promising start with the encouragement and enthusiastic support from the telephone operators, with the great work that Samsung and Nokia and HTC have done, and really with the quality of the engineering of the software and experience. I expect our market share to climb quite nicely over the course of the next year, 2 years. So the opportunity across this, the volume, which no matter whether you're writing applications to make money directly, sell apps, whether you're writing applications because you hope for advertising revenue, whether you're writing applications to help your company better support its products, whatever your driver is, the opportunity in terms of volume will really be quite large. We will spend more money marketing Windows, Windows Phone, and Surface than any products in Microsoft history, literally billions of dollars, to make those products come alive with the consumer in the marketplace. We are all in on this investment, and that means we are all in on trying to drive your applications, to make them popular, to make them successful. In some senses, there's nothing I would like more than to have a chance to write any of you who are writing apps for our App Store very large checks over the course of the next year as we help you, as we say, make money, ring the cash register, and really drive forward. So it's a pleasure to have a chance to address you today. I want you to do your best work, your good work, your most innovative work on Windows and Windows Phone, and we're going to do our best